Hi there. Now what we're going to do in this video is look at the left anti-join function. Now this is part of the merge group of functions, and what people normally do when they select merge from the user interface in the PowerQuery editor is just use the first merge option, which is left outer. Now the left anti-join does something slightly different. It takes the information in the first table that can't be found in the second table, and this can be really useful in some instances. So we're going to look at a particular scenario here where we're going to be looking at GR&I accruals, so goods received not invoiced accruals. Now what these accruals are is when you've raised a purchase order and you haven't yet got an invoice, but you have said, well, I've had the service or the good, then we need to create an accrual for that. So let's have a look at this in practice. So here we are in the spreadsheet that we're going to attach to. Now what we've got is in this first tab, PO listing, we've got a listing of all of the purchase orders that we've receipted a value against. Then in the second tab, invoice listing, we've got a listing of all of the invoices that we've received, and then they've been matched to a PO number. So what we want to do is we want to find all the information in the PO listing tab. In this tab, we want to find all the information that's in this tab that is not in the invoice listing. We want to find all of the purchase orders which are not in the invoice listing tab. So to do this, we'll use PowerQuery, of course. So I will close this file and then go into a blank Excel worksheet. Okay, so to go into PowerQuery, I'll go to Data, then to Get Data, and then to From File, and then from Workbook. And then I'll select the file that I want, which is invoice listing and PO listing, and select import. Okay, then I want to connect to both of the tabs in this workbook. So I'll select multiple items and then select the two tabs. Okay, here we are in the PowerQuery editor, and then on the left-hand side of the screen, we've got the two tabs in the Excel workbook we were just looking at, the invoice listing and the PO listing. So what we want to do is create a left anti-merge between these two tables. So to do that, I'm going to go to Merge Queries. Okay, I'm going to then change this invoice listing to PO listing, and then select the PO number. And then I'll go to the second table and select invoice listing, and then select matched PO number. And then PowerQuery takes the two columns that we've highlighted as how to join the two tables, the information used to join the two tables. Now down here, we've also got the join kind, and this is currently set to left outer. So if we were to merge this using left outer, then what would happen is we'd retain all the information within the PO listing tab, and then we would just bring in the information in the invoice listing query where there were rows relating to the PO numbers in the PO listing query. Now we want to use the left anti-join, so I'll just click the downward arrow and then select left anti. Now what this is going to do is it's going to remove all of the rows in PO listing that have found similar rows in the invoice listing query. So we'll just be left with information which is only in the PO listing query. Okay, so there we go. We've now got our new query, which I'll just rename. And now we can see that we've just got the rows from the PO listing query, which only exist in the PO listing query, that we don't have a matched PO number in the invoice listing query. So we could really easily then use this to create a GR&I accrual. So what I'm going to do just before loading this back into Excel is I'm just going to remove this final column, which isn't helping us, and then go to close and load. And there we go. We've now just got the rows in the PO listing query which don't exist in the invoice listing query.